in that healthier choice. You can't just say, go do this, good luck. That does not work for anybody. The mind-body connection. You have a thought. You having a thought right now? Of course you are. Do you know how many thoughts you have on a daily basis? Way too many to count. The problem is, what are those thoughts and how are they affecting you? Do you know that a thought, I can go into this in a whole nother conversation, but that thought literally stimulates a portion of your brain, the hypothalamus, and the job of the hypothalamus is to produce a protein that defines that thought. Anger. I'm having an angry thought. Your hypothalamus just produced an angry protein. Your body doesn't know it means anger, it just means I'm familiar with that protein, and it stimulates the adrenals, which then stimulate my heart rate going up, all because I got angry, or irritated, or frustrated. Do you know that when most people get angry, irritated, frustrated, or any of those, that we typically don't breathe very well? We do what we call shallow chest breathing. You're all doing it right now. I can tell you that within 3 breaths, I can change your biochemistry, right here, right now. Do it with me. Take a deep breath. Feel it coming into the lobes, the lower lobes of your lungs. Can you feel something changing inside you? That's your biochemistry. That's your pH. Your acid alkaline levels are changing by taking 3 deep breaths. You get stressed out, take 3 deep breaths. You're not clear about something doesn't seem right to you, take 3 deep breaths. And just sit with it for a moment. You know, when it all else fails, I have this book I'm working on. It's called 10 Seconds Can Make a Difference. 3 deep breaths, step back, take a moment. That's all it takes. And all of a sudden, clarity will come. But it doesn't come when you're all stressed out and you're running around, because your body doesn't know when it's stressed. You've heard of the fight or flight. When that's happening, you're perceiving that there's a bad situation. Now, the bad situation could be the house is on fire, there's a burglar in the house, or I think that whatever this is going on, I'm supposed to be stressed out about. Well, I'm saying, okay, well, that's one way to look at it. What if we change that way of looking at it? Can I borrow this for a second? All right. If I were to ask everyone right now, just describe this in as much detail as possible. Don't do it. We don't have time. Now describe it in as much detail as is possible from the way you're seeing it. Now describe it. What's changed? The perception. The box hasn't changed. I didn't even change where she crushed it over here. It's all been the same. Yeah, see what happened? She drank this thing and... Right? Nothing's changed but the perception. So if you don't like a particular situation, don't think you're going to change the situation. Change your perception, and the situation will change all by itself. There's food for thought. Thank you. So that's the mind-body connection. You have a thought, your thought creates a protein, the protein gets produced and begins to affect your body through the endocrine system. That's the mind-body connection. Spirit, healer, healer within. Nobody is your healer. Nobody can force you to do anything. That comes back to personal responsibility. If you don't like what's going on in your life, take responsibility and change it. You are the only one that can do that. Where do we start? I'm just going to jump right down to New Start. An acronym. It's laid out for you. Nutrition, exercise, water. Start there. If you could just do that on a regular basis, how much water do you drink? How many cups a day? Forget counting cups. Nobody can do that unless you're really OCD. Of course, you'd have to know what that is. And if you are, then you know what it is. Get a container, a decent size, quart, or half a gallon, or yes, I should have known. That's much easier to keep track of. I'm going to drink one of these by 2 o'clock, and I'm going to drink the second one by 6 o'clock. Unless I exercise, and then I got to add another little one in. That's only keeping track of 2 things. 1 by 12 or 2 or whatever you choose. I'm drinking this one by this time,
end this one by this time. Don't drink too late, because then you'll get up and have to use the bathroom late at night, and then you'll be sleep deprived, and you go, the heck with all this. Simple place to start. Change your diet, consider eliminating or cutting way down on one of these, right? What we do is, if we just give ourselves a break, if I don't eat wheat every day, for example, or I don't eat dairy every day, I give a chance for that system to heal. But if I eat it every day, there's no time for healing. It's just more irritation, more aggravation, more inflammation, and the story goes on. There we go. I'm going to leave you with a couple more visuals. This is one of the reasons that I'm doing this as well. Children with diabetes. Do you know what happens when a 10-year-old is diagnosed with adult onset diabetes? You know what I said? Adult onset. Do you know we don't call it adult onset in the medical world anymore? It's called type 2. You know why we changed it? Because adults are not the only ones getting it anymore. A 10-year-old who gets diagnosed with type 2 diabetes has a hugely increased risk of having organ failure, blindness, or amputation by the time they reach their 30s.
So are animals, our pets.
Yeah, it's affecting everyone. Change our diet. It's a simple thing, one change at a time.
Charlene's bottom.
Junk food nation. Why do you think they call it junk food?
It's junk.
It is, but I'm telling you, there's better ways to do the same thing. Don't feel like you need to be deprived, feel like you need a different choice. Instead of whatever these things are, Cheetos, right? All right, instead of Cheetos, how about little carrots that you braised in some maple syrup? You braise anything in maple syrup, it's gonna be good. And we're only talking a few minutes on the stove. I'll leave you with a quick cooking tip. You ever heard of blanching? Putting something in boiling water for a short time? Heavily salt the boiling water. Have a bowl sitting next to it with ice water. Salt that. As soon as the vegetable, and my feeling is, be efficient in the kitchen. If I'm gonna bring a pot of water to boil, why would I cook one thing in it? I'm gonna lay out 3 or 4 or 5 different veggies. And then boom, and about 15 minutes later, I've got 5 vegetables or 4 vegetables all cooked. I'm not gonna eat them all at the same time, but I've got them for the next few days. And I've only cooked in one pot at one time at the stove. Efficient. You're gonna turn your oven on, don't just turn it on to throw in 1 baked potato or 1 piece of squash. Load it up. Some of this stuff can be frozen. It saves you time. Just gotta think efficiently. Braise some carrots. Celery is one of the heart's best friends. The heart loves celery. When you think about buying cheap, inexpensive food, there's a price to pay. That special deal that you're getting at Walmart food or Costco, whatever, depending on what it is, and you think that I'm saving $1, but how much are you spending on healthcare? I'm saying spend the extra $1, spend the extra $2 on the dozen eggs, and cut down on your healthcare. You won't need it as much. Prevention. There is a happiness quotient. Be happy. Even fake it till you believe it. Right? You thought I was going to say fake it till you make it. Fake it till you believe it. You keep telling your mind, I'm a happy person. I'm a happy person. Oh, are you full of it? Oh, I'm a happy person. Okay? But I got 3 happy persons in there with only 1, you're full of it. It used to be a much greater proportion of you're full of it. So as I keep working on it, anyone in here ever work out, do some kind of exercise? Thank you. You notice you feel a little bit better?
Yeah.
Right? It's a real pain sometimes to get there to do it, but you always feel a little bit better. And why? Because you're working out your muscles. Your brain is nothing more than a muscle. Work it out. Stand in front of the mirror. I used to give this prescription to my patients and say, every day, I don't care if it's 30 seconds, just stand in front of the mirror and find one thing you really like about yourself that day. And go, wow, your eyebrows look fantastic this morning. Unless you have this single eyebrow, and then you might want to do something about that. Unibrow, right? That. One thing. and it doesn't matter what it is, that one strip of hair looks so good. And what you do is you're working out your mind to start thinking differently. It's a whole different form of exercise, it's a different way to approach your day. And I always like to say, start and end your day with gratitude. One thing about gratitude, it's not just you. Be grateful for the clients that we have, because without them, we don't have a job.
Right.
But can we work into a new model? How do we work into the model of getting healthier and staying healthier? Because people are concerned, if we get everyone healthy, there's not going to be any need for us. That's not true. It will never be true. In order to get healthy, there's also the requirement of staying healthy, and that requires the same team. So what if we began the new model of how to get healthy and then stay healthy and support each other on that path? Because you remember the shovel and the dirt on the donkey? It's always going to come. It will come to the day that they're literally shoveling and we're not going to get out of the hole, at least physically. But that's another conversation. So with that, I thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to be here. And if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to ask Tammy.